Hello, beautiful souls. I am Awakened Soul, and today we're going to start off with this Eve and Adam play that I posted 22 hours ago. It is a little difficult to post live videos when I am taking the trades, but I do update everyone on my Twitter. So if you're not following me on my Twitter, it is Awakened Soul _369, and you can see, play by play. And I did post this pattern, let's go back here, 23 hours ago. So, and I kept updating you as the play was going. So just something to consider, you following me on Twitter. So let's go ahead and move on. I am expecting 22,600, but just based on this pattern, let's see it plays out. It is retracing a little bit to the downside, but we will see. But let's go ahead and start with the fresh naked chart. Let's assume we just walked in. We are looking at our charts. We want to start off on our weekly, setting support and resistance trend lines. So remember, we're going to turn on our pivot highs and lows indicator. Great pivot highs and lows, and great indicator to show us our support and resistance. So we're going to mark resistance, support, and one more resistance up here. Okay, I'm also gonna consider this wick right here as a support just because it bounced off from there. All right, this is our weekly support and resistance. Let's go ahead within the daily. Within the daily, also turn on pivot highs and lows, and again, just focus on price action, right? So you're gonna set your resistance. I'm gonna set your support. This is support too. Your resistance up here, right? So just concentrate on your price action. It's good to color coordinate your trend lines, your support and resistance, just so you don't forget which ones are which. So now that we're in our daily, we're going to turn on our pivot highs and lows indicators. I do overlap two. One is set at 30 and one is set at 6, 3, or 9. I like to play around with it. So within my higher high, lower low indicator, it's just going to help me guide me where I should put my daily trend lines. So I'm going to go from this higher high to this lower high. Let me change to yellow because I'm working daily will be my yellow. Let's just do 2. From my lower low here to my higher low. Okay, we're going to turn on our 12 and 26 EMAs that I like playing with. Okay, so 12, 26 EMAs. Once we turn them on the daily, we could visualize if we're in a bearish or bullish trend. So if price action is above 12 EMA, we're in a bullish trend. If price action is below 12 EMA, we're in a bearish trend. So right now it looks like we came down, but it seems like, right, it's right in the middle. Either it's gonna go back up or come back down. So, okay, so I have my support resistance daily. I have my trend lines. Let's go ahead and turn on our volume profile to find our point of control, right? I do use 2. One is the volume profile by DGT, and one is the regular VRVP. I like 2 just for confluence. So they're all pointing to this lower section here. So I'm just going to highlight it. And this is just a visual where price action could potentially come back to. Right? And we're going to set purple. Let's go ahead and turn them off. Okay. So now let's go continue on to the 4-hour. So within the 4-hour, we're going to concentrate on this area. So it's important for you to remember the cycle of the market. So the cycle of the market is as follows. We have contraction phases, we have trend, we have contraction phases. This whole area was a contraction phase, right? We had a trend down, and now we're here within this contraction area, right? So within every contraction area, you're going to find a pattern. You're going to find a bull flag, a bear flag, a Wyckoff, a falling wedge, a rising wedge. So it's important for you to just concentrate on your contraction area where the trend is playing at this moment. Okay, so now that I'm in my 4 hours, I am gonna again turn on my pivot, my higher high, lower low indicator in both of them. And this is again gonna guide me on where to set support and resistance lines. First thing we're gonna set is our support. We're gonna go all the way from this low down here to the most current lower low. We're gonna use green for our 4 hours. Okay, so big support here. And we're also gonna, from this high to this lower high, right, big resistance 4 hour trend line. So just based on those trend lines, I'm gonna be able to give you some targets. So let's say we were about to break to the upside and we break this 4 hour trend line. Remember, our target will be 1 point, 2 points when it crosses. We're going to look at the lowest price action. And if you're having a hard time, turn on your pivot highs and lows. That's a lot of pivot highs and lows. So let's go back to 5. So 1 point, 2 points when it crosses. And this is our lowest price action, right? So our target would be based on this lower price. Just come right up, or what you could do is place a vertical line right here, right? So you're sure you got the wick where the lowest price action is, and then just intersect the trend line and the vertical line with the horizontal line. Perfect. And that will be your 4 hour target. Again, that's only if we cross this green resistance trend line. So let's go ahead and highlight it. Okay. Let's say if we were to break this resistance, this is our highest peak, right? So easy if you put that horizontal line, right, and then just zoom in right here where the horizontal and the trend line is at, and just set your, sorry, this is vertical, set your horizontal line right here. Perfect. So we break this 4 hour trend line, we are coming down to 20,919. Okay. Right, another observation that you want to do when you're in your 4 hour is the trend. Are we bullish or bearish, right? So let's go ahead and take those zigzags, take the pivot highs, and just leave your 12 and 26 EMA on. So again, I trade with the trend. So if price action is above 12 hour EMAs, I consider longs. If price action is below 12 and 26 EMAs, I consider shorts. Right now, it seems like when we went right back up to the 12 and 26, it seems like they want to cross right now, giving me a more bullish sentiment in the 4 hour. So that's something to consider before you go to the 1 hour time frame. So in the 1 hour, we are bullish because we're above the 12 EMA. Okay. So now that we're in our 1 hour, again, remember this is a contraction phase, right? Because the trend came down and now we're within our contraction phase. This was the ripsaw of the CPI meeting. So just like I showed you earlier, I noticed right off the bat this curve here, giving me that possible Adam and Eve, or Eve and Adam play. So let me show you how I measure it just really quick, because we could still be in play. So this is your Eve. This is your Adam. And I like to use the line chart when I do measure moves. They seem more accurate. So I'm going to put a horizontal line here right on the neckline, right? And I'm going to measure the Eve, like a measure move from this high to this low. And that's going to give me from the breakout, right? The breakout right here. A measure move of approximately 22,500. Okay, so something to consider. Let's go ahead and highlight it. Let's go back to our wicks. So like I said, it's important to keep an eye when you move into the 1 hour. You know, if you notice a pattern right away, take action and try to find the measure move, or try to find the pattern within that contraction area. Also, you could turn on your higher high, lower lows, and connect some trend lines to see what's the possible pattern. So let's say I didn't know this was Adam or Eve. So just based on the trend lines here, just connecting them, we're going to go from low to lower low. So we're going to do blue for 1 hour. We're going to go from higher high to the new higher high. So right there, it looks like a megaphone, right? Something to consider too. Okay. So right now we're in the trend up already. What you want to see next to take the next trade, right? So this is really key, really important, guys. And I would actually go in your charts and set an alarm on this 4-hour trend line, right? Because this 4-hour trend line right here, that's holding our resistance, also correlates with the top of this megaphone, also correlates with the possible measure move target, right? Let's just go ahead and let's lower this. So I'm going to say X marks the spot here. When I see a lot of trend lines kind of pointing to an area, I always use it as confluence, like, okay, I'm going to go with this target. So 22,455 will be my final target for this Adam and Eve. Let me highlight this. Right, if we cross this 4-hour trend, again, we will get higher targets. We will be looking at 22,693, and we will be reassessing our charts. So right now I would place support and resistance. Okay, so moving on to the 30 minutes. Let's see if we can find it in our 15 minutes. Okay, so for me to take a short, right, I want to see a support being broken. I'm just trying to find out where is that support, right? See, now I'm confused. I'm like, where did I get this blue trend line? I think this is 4 hours. See, by the time you're here, you have a whole techno party. That's why it's important to color coordinate your trend lines. I'm just trying to figure out. Oh yeah, this was our support. Sorry, I'm like, where is this from? This is our neckline from this Eve and Adam play, right? Yes. So, alarm goes here. Let me highlight it. So if we break down this trend, this neckline from this Eve and Adam, we're coming back down. If we break above this target here, and again, this is not only a target, it's also confluence with this megaphone with this 4-hour trend line. So if I'm gonna actually put them at pink. So this one and this one. Okay, this is gonna be a range right here. So we break to the upside. Remember, you need confirmation. Let me draw it for you. So we break up. You want to see the retest and then continuation to the upside, right? You want to enter at your higher low and then continue to a bullish target. And if we break this neckline, you want to see a break, retest, and then we continue to the downside. Okay, those are the next plays. Set your alarms for a bullish target at 22,455 and for a bearish play at 22,013. All right, guys, this is what I have for you today. May the force be with you, and remember to do everything with love.